What are you going to take notes on?
Anything that's said, anything that comes to mind, anything that you might say.
Okay.
Stuff like that.
Do you know what Twitter is?
Is it like a light bulb company?
So Twitter's kind of like Facebook. You know what Facebook is? Because you have a fake Facebook that you used
No,
to...
you know what? I got off.
Oh.
I got off of Facebook because of your booty. The booty was always there. And aesthetically, it's, pleasing. But I'm your da. And so, there's another voice in my head going, it's a lot of booty language. And I figured that, David Zuexi,
Yeah,
it's time to go. So if I ever go back on, it'll be as, David
you do a different...
Jerome.
Okay.
You call Dave?
So Twitter is kind of like Facebook, but so you tweet. You've ever heard that term?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Many times.
So you don't know this, but what Maria... Don't tap. Maria's my sister, for those of you listening who don't know. Oh, Cagney. What Maria and I do is we tweet the funny things you say.
I don't say anything funny at all. I'm always serious. You guys make fun of me going...
So what I've been doing for like the past couple months is tweeting like interactions, like when you tell me not to order vegan food. Just the dogs are whining. So
Yeah.
a lot of people are very interested in you. So that's why we're having you on here. But also a lot of people know that you were a triathlete and stuff like that. So we're just going to talk about stuff, okay? We're just gonna
Talk about stuff. Now, I'm a very private person, so if you ask me specific questions, I might say either, I don't know, none of your business, or I might just, turn it over to the meerkat.
Okay. Makes sense.
You got to be quiet around here. This is my first time in front of one of these
That's
dealios.
okay. So
Are we tweeting?
No, we're not tweeting.
What are we doing?
We're podcasting.
See? It's so confusing. All right, go ahead.
So, the one thing that a lot of people are curious about is my upbringing and how you and Mom differed so much with everything I went through with high school and college. So, whereas Mom was kind of more hard on me and strict with me.
Bad cop.
You were the good cop. You were the no cop. You were...
Yeah, you want to know about that a little bit? I can talk around it. Are we going to discuss that now?
Sure, yeah, yeah.
All right. I had to make up my mind about something with you because we were similar in respects in growing up.
Me and you?
Yeah. I'd have to find out things for myself.
Yeah.
I couldn't take advice. I go, well, maybe that's not true. So school of hard knocks. So you go through things and you get knocked over and you learn and it stays with you more. So with you, I figured the best thing to do was, instead of being, the proper father, was to be a drinking partner when you're underage. That way, I'd always know where you were, and I endeared myself to all your friends.
Yeah.
They had my number, I had yours. And at any given moment, if I woke up in the middle of the night, as you know I have,
Mm-hmm.
and going, wait a minute, something's wrong, I could get in touch and find out where you were because,
All my friends
I love you.
Yeah.
And I got along with most of your friends, I think, right?
Yeah, all my friends want to hang out with you more than they wanted to hang out with me.
That's weird. I didn't know
So
that.
for those of you that don't know, my dad used to go out drinking with me a lot before I was even 21.
Wasn't a lot.
It was often enough.
On occasion.
Right.
And there'd always be what?
A fight.
Oh, that was the best part. It was,
I would always start a fight.
that was absolutely true.
You and your friends would always have to physically bare knuckle box people who I started a fight with.
And thank God that I was hanging out with, what was the guy from Hawaii?
Jeremy, the
And he
MMA
was-
fighter.
And middleweight champion.
Yeah.
We had Corey. Yeah. So I had kind of a big mouth and kind of an attitude, right? And that was my muscle to back me up. But I'd get in there and scrap too.
Yeah.
It was a great time. And the oddest part was, I'm Irish. Come on, Irish Sicilian. The oddest part was, I never got in scraps, even growing up. Never. Schoolyard? No, I was an athlete.
You know what,
People
though?
leave me alone.
I
but
never really got in fights either. It was just with you guys. I think it's because I knew that we had those guys with us, and I just thought it was funny. I was
Yeah.
also fucking drunk, too.
Anyway, but we beat that.
Yes, we did. We got past that. So I have a lot.
Does that answer any questions? I mean, the upbringing and stuff like that.
Well,
I want to read. I want to just go back a little bit.
Okay.
The whole thing was, I want to know where my baby is, because I knew you were hanging out kind of on the dark side a little bit, and there were things involved that you've talked about online.
Mm-hmm.
God forbid my baby wouldn't do drugs, right? Every father's dream. And I wanted to know you were safe, and so that was part of the whole action right there. And people might argue with it, but the bottom line is this: all your friends trusted me.
This is true. And
Period.
you know what?
And I always knew where you were.
Yeah, because you know what's funny is Mom would try to text people and get a hold of people, and nobody would answer because it was different. But I think that they were afraid of what would happen, because Mom was just so strict with me all the time.
No, which was fine.
Right. And I think all my friends just, I don't know, you were around them more and they trusted you more.
Let me go talk about your mom and I real quick.
Yeah.
We met. Is that camera like doing something to us? Should I look into that camera?
If you want, yeah.
Most people listen. Some people watch.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. All right. Your mom and I met in triathlons.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm going to jump ahead. I changed quite a bit, and she wasn't content, and I couldn't be the person that she wanted me to be.
Mm-hmm.
And so a divorce ensued, but we were been friends the whole time.
Right.
I couldn't even, maybe we had a half a dozen arguments in 12 years of marriage, but when one person changes, it just, you can't keep it together, so we divorced, all right? But we're very good friends now. I look after your mom, and we're pals and everything. Mostly I do it just to piss the boyfriends off. But so there it is. So Mom and I are good pals, and we managed Krissy. I mean, my daughter, very proud of her. She beat all that shit. I don't know how she did it, but she did it. And so here we sit, me and the meerkat.
For those of you listening, there's a meerkat on the table that my dad brought wrapped in foil, and then he took it out of the foil and he set the meerkat on the table.
It's ceramic, and if it broke somehow,
So
right?
foil's gonna
If
keep
someone tried to steal my man bag, all right,
his purse.
my man bag, very Indiana Cagney or Reno Cagney or Nevada Cagney, it would break inside the foil, and I could glue all the pieces back together
You're
again.
so
where
smart.
where did it come from?
Came from the San Francisco Zoo when I was there with your younger sister, maybe a few years after her heart surgery.
Oh, that long ago?
Yeah.
Wow.
I've had it ever since. It's been in storage, and I brought it out.
In storage.
This is the first. This is the
storage inside of your house, right?
Yes. Everything is in storage. Makes sense. But it's his first time out in the town.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's been saying, "Papa Cagney, bring me out."
Well, I'm glad that he came to the gym the first time he left the house.
Yeah. What else?
So a lot of people have questions. My friend Sarah wants to know what it was like raising me.
Well, that's a stumper. Huh. Exciting. You never knew, what was going to be happening.
Yeah.
I got a story. Did I teach you how to drive, or did you learn on your own by hijacking cars or something?
Okay, so just to clear that up, I went through this phase where I stole cars.
Borrowed joyriding.
borrowed
Any police might be listening.
Borrowed parents' cars of my parents, my friends' parents, and I basically, I'd go pick all my friends up. This was way before I had a driver's license. I was, 13, 14, 12?
Tell the quick story, and I'll comment on it as how I am as a father.
Which one? The eggs?
The eggs and the toilet paper
Okay.
from beginning to end.
Was Mom even in town? No. Okay, my grandma was in town, so my mom had the expedition that she had to park in the driveway because Grandma's car needed to go in the garage. So I figured out a trick to get into the car, and you put it in neutral, and you roll it out of the driveway and down the street so you don't hear it start. So I had two friends spending the night. We were in the 8th grade. So what's that, 13 years old?
Mm-hmm.
My friends were spending the night. We got in the car. We pushed the car down the street, started it, and we went and picked up about 10 of our other friends. We went to the grocery store, and we each bought like 3 dozen eggs. And we proceeded to go to a girl's house who we didn't like and egg the shit out of her house with probably close to 1,000 eggs. And then they called the cops, and we got chased down by the cops, and somehow I got away with the license plate. got caught by, and then they called mom, and then basically I wasn't allowed to have friends ever again. Nobody was allowed to hang out with me anymore. That was in middle school.
Here's the father's take on this, because when I heard about it, I just, I hadn't talked to Krissy yet. So, Mom, Tammy was yakking on my ear on the phone, and nobody dare called me, but there were a bunch of moms calling Mom and complaining, how can your daughter do this? And actually, it was like Mom had this just piece of wisdom, and she said, why did your daughter get in the fucking car? And I'm like, damn, she slammed that out of the park. They don't dare call me. So I approached Krissy on it, and I go, I heard about your escapade the other night. And she goes, Dad, and I'm looking at her, I go, I can't wait to hear this. Everyone wore their seatbelt. And I'm like, oh, honey. I gave her a hug and said, we'll talk about this some other time. We never discussed it. I was all happy.
That was it.
Yeah.
See, it wasn't that shitty.
No, what I'm saying is, you had a wild streak, and I didn't get in that kind of trouble like you did, or I wasn't that brave to do that kind of stuff, because my stepfather would have just held me underwater and drowned me, revived me, and kept doing it. He invented waterboarding, my stepfather. And so I couldn't do that kind of stuff. I lived in absolute fear. But once again, it was one of those situations. So raising Krissy, I just kept an eye on her and hoped for the best. And then some other things kind of came up. You talk about drugs and stuff?
Yeah, you can talk about whatever you want.
Okay, I never saw her do drugs at all. However, I knew there were some signs there when it was like really obvious. When she came over with a friend of hers, and she goes, Dad, how about I clean up all the weeds in your backyard? You have to understand, the weeds were this tall and about 1 billion. I'm thinking, oh my God, the poor kid, it's going to take her forever. And I think I flipped you like $250, and you did half. And you go, we'll come back later. Well, that's the last I saw of her for a couple of weeks. So I got half my yard with dead weeds and the other half like that. And it stayed that way, just so I could remember the way my daughter might try and, work me or play me the next time. In any event, one of those kinds of things that you do, and then, But I knew I was contributing to the delinquency of a minor, but I didn't know what to do about it because there's no book written on this, so I just had to use my better or my lesser judgment. So that's what happened on that. Yeah. And then the other thing was when you got slender.
Oh, yeah, like about 95 pounds.
And a credit card bill came, and it was off the charts with food. That's all there was food on it. And my daughter's getting more slender. And I'm going, maybe she has a tapeworm. Anyway, I made a phone call to a friend of mine and asked her, how do I deal with this? And she goes, well, you know what? You got to hope, because she will not do a thing unless she's good and ready. I go, how about interventions? My family did 6 interventions on me. Didn't work at all. I go, what happened? She goes, I don't know what happened, but something happened in the very midst of me. A switch flipped, and I walked away. She goes, I had a couple of bumps where I returned, but nothing like before, and then done, and walked away.
Yeah.
And I said, God, please let that happen to my baby. And I guess it did.
Well, that's what happened the first time. It was really bad. It was the worst my freshman year of college, I think. Senior year of high school, that's when the drug use was the worst. And then there was just one day it was just like, enough was enough. And I mean, granted, it didn't last long, but yeah, I mean, Mom tried to force, you know what I mean? There was all types of shit. The jail didn't work, house arrest didn't work, nothing. And then one day that day Maria said something to me. I kind of just, when Maria saw me eat for the first time in like months.
What happened?
I called Mom. It was one of those times I disappeared for months when I was living in those apartments by the university, just nonstop drug use. And I ran out of money, and remember when I got beat up?
Remember your nose got crunched?
Yeah, and so I basically was out of money. I had everything, and I called Mom just crying, asking to come home, and I came home, and I don't think I ate anything for like a week. And then I was eating cereal that day, and Maria was staring at me, and I was like, what? She's like, I haven't seen you eat for like a year. And that day was kind of like, whoa. I think Maria was like 13.
Yeah, she's
12,
5 years
maybe?
younger.
Yeah.
5 years younger than you.
Something like that. All right, we got more questions.
Yeah, I'm on.
What's your favorite memory of me as a child?
Oh, I should have brought the picture book. Oh, favorite memory of you as a child. With you know, when you have kids, you always think back when they're really little. I just don't know why. Look at the dog staring at me like, what are you doing in there?
You probably have to go to the bathroom.
Favorite memory. Oh, man, as a child. There's a bunch, sweetheart.
I always think back to that picture of me and you making meatloaf sitting on the countertop in Hawaii.
Which one?
where we used, you remember we used to mash it with our hands? There's a pic. I have a picture of us in the Hawaii house. For those of you guys that don't know, I born in Hawaii. That's where my parents met doing triathlons. And we're in the Hawaii house, and it's me naked on the counter with, like, I was just little, with my arms into the meat, and you're standing in the kitchen with me. I'm assuming Mom took it. It's weird how you can, like, remember things from when there's, like, 4 or 5 things I specifically remember from when I was little.
There's one situation that I did that I got scolded by your mother on. I wish I had the picture to show it, but maybe if people are just listening. It was an outdoor pool in Hawaii, right? Where it's 85 degrees, we have the ocean, but you're little, and I have to guess you were probably 18 months old, and you have this massive bald head. And
yeah.
It's like huge, all right? And you're
Still is huge.
You're leaning up on the side of the blow up pool, and for some reason I get back and I charge you and I go, ah, and you lean forward and you'd yell at me, ah. Well, your mother was watching me do this and she threw a fit. She's going, you're going to damage that child. I go, no, it's a war cry, all right? And you'd do it every time, and then you'd be ready for me. And I have the consummate picture. Remember that picture where you're yelling?
Yeah.
Little Za, we call you Little Za. That was fun. Then there's just all the stuff we do, you know, Disneyland, going to the beach, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I remember one. This is one when we're older. We would go down to Cabo San Lucas. I had a couple timeshares down there, and then when the parents, you know, split up, I take the kids down with me. And so we're down there, and Krissy had a friend, I had Maria, and we come back, and we ended up going down to Newport Beach, and I got to put her at about 12 or 13, and you know, 5 years older. And we're lying on the beach, and we just get there, and you go, Dad, I have something to tell you.
Oh, yeah.
And I go, oh, God. There's words that no father wants to hear, because it only means one thing. I'm pregnant. And Maria goes, don't tell him. I go, oh, it's the real deal. Here it comes. And so Krissy and Maria kind of confer, and I'm going, all right, are you pregnant? And then Krissy goes, no. And then I'm going, what else could it be? Right? And I'm so friggin' relieved. She goes, Dad, I got a tattoo. And I go, no worries, I'm going in the ocean. Totally relieved.
And then you were like, oh, it's just a tattoo. I think I was 13 years old. And then I got home and told Mom, and she was like, we need to take you to get tested for hepatitis. And she cried. She's like, I don't even know who you are.
What a mom.
Like,
that's her.
Look at me now.
Yeah, we're very different, the mom and I, big time. I'm like, hey, you know what? Let's buy some new cars. Let's spend money. No problem. Your mom's, we got to save.
So someone wants to know about, so have I told you about how many times I've ran out of gas this year?
No. Oh, I won't come and help you with your gas ever again.
Did you help me before? You helped me once, right? And
Once,
you said you would
twice, never again. I then jump in your car, and then you texted me back going, oh, I got it to work.
So remember, I used to run out of gas. Remember in Carson City I ran out, and then my car wouldn't start? Carson City's like 40 minutes away.
Yeah.
So a couple people were, I ran out of gas with Chloe twice this year.
I don't know why you guys do that. I mean, it just...
She doesn't run out of gas. It's me. I just...
Half a tank, fill up. That's tough. On carbureted cars, it's not such a big deal. But, you know, with fuel injection where you have a pump, that messes with the pump once you get real low, too. But I was going to say, what else? I was thinking about something. Oh, another thing was, at your mom's house, when you kids would come back and forth week with me, week on, do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That must have been so hard living out of a suitcase. I don't know how you kids did it. But in any event, Your mom would go into your room how many times to try and wake you up for school? How many times in the morning?
1,000.
How many times would I come in?
0.
And what would happen? You get up and do it.
Yeah, Mom was just kind of annoying for a while.
Yeah, I said, you don't want to go to school? Fine, not my problem. That's just how I am. No skin off my back. I'm not going to come in and try and wake you up. You'll just depend on me. That's why I wouldn't fill up your car with gas when you ran out. I go, no, you got to do this on yourself.
Just learn your lesson. Someone wants to know what the story is with the light bulbs and why you bring your light bulbs.
I'm very light sensitive when it goes from absolute dark to absolute light. So it works better if I just turn on like I have night lights around my house. Then I don't have to like turn on the lights. It's just that's my deal on that. It's just.
But why do you change out the hotel room light bulbs?
Because they're bright and big and nasty.
Have you you've done it since I can remember? When did that start?
Since you can remember, exactly.
For those of you that don't follow on Snapchat or Twitter, when did we go to Santa Cruz? February? Back in February on Snapchat, I snapped him changing out all the light bulbs in the hotel room, and a lot of people were very intrigued by that.
Two by the side of us, right? So when she hits that light on, I don't want to be blinded. That's just the way I roll.
That's the story with the light bulbs.
It's not like a black light. It's not mystical.
Why do you ski in jeans and not snow pants?
Because it's cool, dude.
That's your answer?
It's real simple. Hey, just look for the guy in jeans.
Go.
And I wear a crash helmet, too.
Was there ever a time where you thought to yourself, oh, shit, maybe I shouldn't have done that with Maria and I as a parent?
No.
Never?
Not once. No regrets in the way I raised you. I'll tell you a quick story.
Okay.
All ready? This is going to be like very flavorful. Do you remember last year in June, I shot down all right, here, I'm a big time swimmer. It's not that I have a bunch of medals, but I'm an open water, or rather rough water swimmer. I do some body surfing, and I've been in pipeline body surfing. All right, serious stuff, big waves. I know my stuff, and I love it. It's a rush. I don't do it so much anymore. I'm not going to tell you why. Because
he thinks he's...
I know there's a shark looking for me.
My father is convinced that he's going to die by shark attack.
All right, let me stay in this.
Okay.
So with the body surfing and everything else, you already forgot. Hi, my name's David.
You
Who are you again?
Shot down in June. You said I shot down last June.
Oh, that's right. Thanks. So the deal of it is, you get on Swell Watch and you see where the predictions are and the hurricanes and the swells, out of all these places, and it gives you a good idea of the swell angle, right? And how big the surf is going to be. You can't book it 2 or 3 weeks out. You tend to book it maybe a week out, but sometimes it changes. Something can happen. So the surf came in. It was a constant 5 to 7 feet, which is significant. And I went down to Southern California to do some body surfing. Well, I'm not 30 anymore, nor 35 or 40. I'm a little bit older. And I got to be careful about getting tossed and thrown around because you just are more fragile. So I was in the water for a while, got exhausted. It was like a washing machine, got out, and then figured, you know what? I earned the right to have a good dinner tonight. So I sent you that picture with the 3 gals and the guy, random people, and remember how dark I was?
Yeah, you were very tan. I was very confused.
I was the tannest man in the world. So anyways, we get acquainted, we're drinking some wine and everything, go, hey, let's do a wine tasting, which means I start buying bottles of wine and we all drink them down, all right? And so we did that. 4 hours later, the gals are 3 teachers. They're going to be at a symposium the next day, and I get them totally trashed, and their husbands are back in the hotel room, right? And they're doing all this texting. So we start talking, the wine will bring out some stuff, and I just said, hey, I'm just curious about you gals, man. What did you think about your dad? And all 3, like on cue, said, oh, he was terrible. And right then and right there, I said to myself, oh my God, if I ever found out that my daughters had said that about me, I would be a failure as a human being. First and foremost, I'm a father to my children. Everything else pales in comparison. To answer your question, that's really big for me to be and if I'm doing something wrong, I don't have any regrets.
No,
not a single regret in how I raised you guys.
But the one thing with you is like, there's always been complete zero judgment with you with anything. And I've always, since the beginning of time, felt 100% comfortable coming to you with anything. Whether it's been, relationships, stuff with mom, stuff with Maria, business stuff, money stuff, buying cars, but moving, like every big step of my life that I've ever gone through, you're like your dad. I don't know. You're just.
There's been a couple of times where I really have wanted to say something and go, you should listen to me on this, but you know what? You just can't do it. And one thing, when I hit 40, I thought I knew a couple of things. And when I hit 50, I knew that I really didn't know too much at all. And then when I hit 60, you start to get a couple of grains of wisdom going on and some temperance and patience, and that really, really helps. Don't get me wrong. We might go out and get in a fight tonight. What I'm saying is this. There's that whole temperance thing and then trusting just in your kids' ability to figure it out. But so many times we just want to really interfere with their process of learning. And thank God, I don't think I violated that too many times.
Not with me. I don't know about Maria.
Maria's not human. She's not. She has to. She's from outer space. The kid's never done anything wrong. It's like the Addams Family, isn't it? They have the one blonde-haired daughter in there that comes and goes, "Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad," and they're all insane or crazy. Is it the Addams Family, or is it?
I don't remember.
I don't know.
The Munsters.
The Munsters.
Is it the Munsters? I don't remember.
Oh my God, Maria's like that. It's just, she is bizarre. She's just odd.
Yeah, she's definitely not normal. It's very weird.
She's naturally just, I don't know. She's just like kind of good.
Yeah, I don't know. She's definitely very weird. Do you think that she is more well behaved because she saw the shit I went through with you guys? And
I have no idea. It's a mystery to your mom. Oh, I can tell some stories about your mom when she was younger that I know that I can't tell you. I've been sworn to secrecy.
Yeah,
Did you you never got back to me when I texted you that picture of her when she's pregnant, when she opened up?
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yes.
She doesn't know I have that. She would kill me.
Yeah, she probably would kill you.
Oh, she would murder me. That was you in there. Yeah, the mom is 5'9", and I met her. She was about 127, and she outweighed me with Krissy. She worked at this kind of semi-Italian restaurant, and they threw food at her and money while she was waiting, and she almost worked there for 8 months. She went 175 with you. 175.
That's crazy.
I know. Anyways.
Talk about how you brew your coffee, the double brew.
How do you know about my double brew?
You have told us about it.
Never.
Yes, you have. When I've been at your house and you make coffee, can you explain the double brew?
Why were we even discussing that? No comment on that. No comment.
You don't have a comment on the double brew?
No, it's stupid. It's just something I just want to make sure all the little grains are thoroughly I'm trying to make it. I don't do the French press. I don't really care for that too much. Maybe because I don't do it right.
You drip coffee though, right?
I drip it, then I pour it through a second time, and it's
through the same grounds.
Same grounds, yeah. Just to make sure I just get all the caffeine. And what are you talking about? I don't want to talk about this.
Okay, fine.
That's silly.
Kyle Stowey wants to know about you as a triathlete and what your most memorable race was.
There's only one race.
What do you mean?
Who wants to know?
My friend Kyle Stowey. He's a really good person.
I don't care if he's good or not. I hope he's a bad boy.
He's a fucking badass.
Jeez.
That's him.
Wait a minute. Let me see. Put my eyes on.
Long hair.
Oh, he's a good dude. I like him already. He's not well.
Nope, not at all.
I like him. Okay. Yeah. I began on a dare in Hawaii.
That's how you started doing triathlons?
No, a workout.
Okay.
It was a workout on the island of Oahu. I moved there in '83, and I was there for 9 years. And I had done a whole bunch of different athletics throughout my life. Everything from soccer. I didn't play football. I didn't like it. And I didn't like baseball because I felt like I was up there and somebody was throwing a rock at me. I didn't like that. and I had to play basketball, but I hate that one most of all, just because my stepfather didn't like me, so he sent me to an island. Mm-hmm. He sent me to Catalina Island, and the way to get off the island was to get involved in the sports. And when you get involved in the sports, you get to leave the island because hardly any schools would ever come to see us. So we'd like take off on a Thursday, come back on a Sunday, take off on a Friday, come back on a Monday. And the people who did athletics and got off the island often tended to like the school a whole bunch more than the people who just got stoned all the time and hung out at the school on Catalina Island. So the bottom line was I did soccer, I played rugby, I did cross country, I played tennis, a little bit of basketball, water polo. I did all kinds of stuff like that, wrestled, but and the cross country is just 2 miles. I did that to get off the island, but I didn't really like it. So I had fast twitch muscles, not slow twitch. And so in Hawaii, when I met Kelly McFate with his hair down to his back and crazy, used to see me, he goes, dude, you should come out and do a workout with us. And he just did it to bug me. I didn't know that, though. He told me later. And he goes, what are you going to do? He goes, we're going to swim out there, 800 yards swim, then we're going to get on the bikes and go about 12 miles, and we're going to run around Kapilani Park, which is about 3.5 miles. I go, no problem. Swim out. I'm the last one out. They waited for me. Got on the bike, out, back. They waited for me. We started running. I got a mile, and I seized up on both my quads and my calves, and I fell down, and Kelly came back smiling, going, dude, I thought you were a badass, man. And I'm going, I heard so much, I can't even move my legs. He goes, welcome to the world of triathlons. It kicked my ass. It pissed me off. That was in 1985. And I go, that's it. I'm going to get involved. And so I began jumping ahead, my favorite race, because you learn what you're good at. You learn at your distances. The Escape from Alcatraz.
I knew you were going to say that.
I did it 3 years in a row. Yeah. I love that race.
So that
is a race that's geared for me.
Yeah. So for those of you guys that don't know, Escape from Alcatraz, so they bring you out on the boat. You jump off at Alcatraz and you swim to shore, right? Mm-hmm. And then you run in the sand to your bike?
No, you run from some sort of an aquarium deal. You run 2 miles.
Because it's a swim, run, bike run, right?
Swim, run to your bike, get off the bike, then run 8 miles.
Right.
But it's mile 6, you go on mile 4 you go onto the sand, and then mile 6 you come back on the sand.
Right.
But not for a real long time, but enough to mess with your legs.
Yeah, because running on the sand's hard.
It is an awesome, it is, I mean, the bike course is only 18 miles.
Yeah.
But if you're ever going
through
straight.
The hills, though?
It's up and down hills. If you go straight for 15 yards. So it's up, down, up, down,
hill
up,
climbing
down,
through
up,
the
down.
city, right?
Yeah, I had the wrong bike. No one has triathlon bikes for those. People have regular bars. Well, some people have the lay downs, but I didn't. I changed my bars out and stuff like that. It was a great race. Very, very intense. The first time I did it, I had regular shoelaces on. And when I came out of the water, my hands were shaking so hard I couldn't tie my shoelaces. And Tammy, your mom's sitting right there, she goes, do you want me to tie those for you? And I'm going, I'll be disqualified. She goes, well, you're just going to sit here forever and then you're going to be a DNF. I go, what's that? Did not finish. So she tied my laces, and after that I got the zip ties. And so, yeah, you learn stuff.
How long does that triathlon take?
Well, the first time I did it, I was in the bottom third. Okay. And the last 2 times but that swim does not intimidate me at all.
The swim from Alcatraz to
the And I did it in a spring suit, which is a short john and this. But the trick was, I wore three hats. My whole head was bulbous and insulated. I figured if I keep my head, it's like my meerkat. It tells me stuff. But so that was So that's the kind of race I like. They had a race in Santa Barbara that was a mile swim, a 45-mile bike, and a 15K run. I like those kind of odd distances. Yeah.
That's like I remember when you guys used to do the Donner Lake Triathlon. That one's fucked up because you swim
into the sun, so you can't see.
But then when you get out of the water, isn't it in the shade?
Yeah, then you go straight up a hill.
You have to cycle through the shade so you can't get warm, right?
Well, yeah, but you go straight up a hill within 300 yards.
I know people who have done fucking Ironmans who say that the Donner Triathlon was hard, almost as just...
Donner's chilly water.
Yeah.
I swim in the lake, in Lake Tahoe. Donner never really warms up because it's down like in a crater and the sun like
Yeah, because the mountains
leaves it as it, so it's always chilly.
Do you think that... So wait, Mom was doing triathlons. Did Mom ever do a triathlon while she was pregnant with me right at the beginning?
No, your sister, she ran a...
She did with Maria?
Not a triathlon. We did a half marathon.
You guys did a half marathon?
Yeah, and then the doctor said, never do that again.
And is that when she stopped?
Yeah, because it's too much heat and warmth, I guess.
Oh.
According to the doc. Back then in 92.
Yeah, because a lot of people ask me. So, for example, I cannot get in a pool for like 5 years and then jump in the pool, and it looks like I've been swimming every single day. Same with like cycling. How I wasn't.
I don't know where you got that from.
Because the cycling stuff too. It's like I was not cycling at all, and then I came back here and jumped on my bike and went on a 35-mile ride. Or like running too. I cannot run for a year and go pop off like a 6-minute mile. So I don't know where I get the endurance, the engine from. It's from one of you. I mean, you're both athletic.
We both did it. That's how we met. We both came together, that way.
Yeah, because I'm sure as shit not naturally strong. If I don't squat for a week, I lose strength.
I'm not strong at all. I work out with the women. It's so hot. Also, as a runner, as a triathlete, I'm so-so, but I have a good time doing it. As a runner, though, I can compete as long as it's in Hawaii and not California, where there's a zillion people. I can compete for an age group, but for some reason, I would get incredible coverage because I'd always be running with the fastest women, which were always within like 50 yards. I'd be like right there. We'd battle. The women and I would battle. They go, I'm going to beat Cagney's ass, and I'm going to go, I'm going to beat your ass, and we'd hit it, and we'd go faster. We'd throw volleys at one another. I would get incredible coverage racing the women in Hawaii.
Really?
Until this wild woman from somewhere, Moda, I think was her name, came on the scene. Holy smoke, she started cracking 10Ks like in the 34s and left me in the dust. So no more footage for me.
What was that thing you did that time where you told me you put that soda and you let it go flat and then you drank it right at the end of your...
I forgot. This is amazing. I was reading about cycling and stuff, and I got on this report, in one of these magazines where it talked about something in sodas, and I bet you people out there know what it is.
It's that surge.
No, it's not. That flushes your body, your muscles, from all that. God, I forget all the words now. I used to be into this stuff. That makes them seize up. So I go, oh, wow.
Lactic acid.
Yes.
Okay.
It flushes. There's something in a soda that's real simple, right?
Okay.
And I go, well, maybe a little caffeine too. And I think it was Jolt. And so what I would do is...
Is Jolt even still a thing?
No, it's not even around. So I didn't tell anybody, all right? And as a cyclist, it was a circuit race, all right? Y'all know what that is.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And so it's probably 3 miles around flat. And I was a member of the Aloha Triathlon Association. We didn't care. We wouldn't ride together. We just battled one another. Worst cycling team ever. And so I shook up the can, got all the carbonation out of there, put 2 in there, and I go, I'm going to try this. But you're supposed to do it like it's nitrous oxide in the car right before the end. You flip the switch like a Paul Rocker and Furious, and then something's supposed to transpire. And I'm going, all right, on faith. It could have been a placebo, but something happened. So here it is. It's the last circuit. I'm going 3 miles an hour, 20 miles an hour. How long is it going to take me? I go, I'm going to do it when there's a mile and a half left. All right? And so I'm up there, and I'm getting real nervous, and I can't wait. So I take the whole bottle, and I suck the whole thing down, and I'm pedaling, and I go, shit. And I just jump, all right? I do this jump, and it was like I was shot out of a friggin' cannon. And this is no exaggeration. People remembered. People came up and patted me on the back. There was a breakaway group of 5 good people. I pulled 20 people right up into the breakaway group, hit that second bottle again, right? Ready to go. And I remember Ruben Chapins is right there, and he's going, Cagney, what are you doing up here? And I go, see you, dude. And I just did another jump, and then it got insane. Now we're talking sprinters up there, all right? So I got no shot. But that and I never did it again after that. It was the most amazing thing in the world. I had no fatigue in my legs, and I was just a rocket, period. And so
How
that
much
was
caffeine did Jolt have in it?
I don't know, double, I think. But yeah,
Double the normal.
yeah.
What? Who made Jolt?
Coke,
What's that?
Coca-Cola
Oh,
company.
Coke. How much?
So anyway, that was. Oh, and then we did these other things too. We had these horse tablets of this stuff. Now this is before
Horse tablets.
they were giant, and it was called Excel in Hawaii, and they had all these weird Chinese herbs like crunched up in them. And I was wondering about them, and I kind of read about it, and I kind of experimented. And the thing of it is, it wouldn't help you in a triathlon, but what it would help me is at the track. We would do track once a week to improve our times in 10Ks and just get stronger. Where we do either, 200s, 400s, 800s, 1600s, or miles. I would take one of these with Jolt an hour before. I would go up and we'd start doing these workouts. I could just haul. I couldn't run any faster, but my recovery time was off the charts. It was like boom, heart rate down, ready to rock and roll again. Instead of taking we'd wait 90 seconds on intervals sometimes too, I was ready to go on 30 seconds. My coach pulled me off to the side. He goes, Cagney, what's up? I go, nothing. I would jump into the A group sometimes, right? And they were pretty quick, and I was quick too there. And so whatever that stuff was, I stopped doing it because I figured this can't be good for you. And I think some of that stuff must be banned. But at the time in 80, that was 80, 86 and 87, 88.
Yeah.
I was taking those secretly. Anyways,
Where do you even get those?
you get them they have them right at the triathlon store, man. Yeah, just go right in, Excel. Okay, thanks. Health food store had them. Yeah.
Really?
Oh, it was insane.
It's crazy all the shit you used to be able to take.
And I'll tell you the other thing that was amazing too. On a bike ride in the morning, if I wanted to go long, I'd go by myself. I would sit down and eat Raisin Bran cereal. All right.
Okay.
With a giant tablespoon of brown sugar, with sliced bananas. But here's this thing. This guy told me about these giant liver tablets, and they're fresh liver in this plastic bag, and they're disgusting. They taste terrible. I'd eat 16 of those, and they're big, and chew them up. I'd get on my bike. Oh, I was invigorated. I could go for miles on that stuff.
Wait, what was it?
Huh?
What do you mean liver tablets?
They're shaped like a giant horse tablet. I mean, they're huge, and they taste just like liver. And I would eat them, and they're full of vitamin B and stuff. But that was another tricky thing that I do. But then for some reason I stopped carrying them, and then that was it for that. But that would really help me on my bike workouts, eating that kind of stuff. It'd keep me going forever. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just
You don't ride bikes?
Stream of consciousness now.
You don't-
Oh, I hate cycling, by the way.
Oh, you do hate it.
I found out that I hated snow skiing and cycling.
Okay.
Isn't
what do you
that
mean you
weird?
found out?
Well, I don't know. I hate camping. I hate walking. I'd much rather run to get there. And I figured because people like things, maybe I should like them too. No.
You had 13 bicycles.
Yes, but there was that escapade.
Oh my fucking god.
We're not going to discuss that. I will not discuss it.
Okay.
I ended up selling all the bikes.
That was one of the weirdest things that's ever happened to me, that I got that phone call.
We're not going to discuss that.
And then you just played stupid.
We're not going to discuss that. The police were involved. Everything was returned to me. Needless to say, I was trying to get rid of it.
That's so weird.
Anyway, so now I got 2 bikes, and the only reason why I cycle now is because I love my running, but if I go out and do a really hard run and long run and do intervals, the next day the most important thing for me is to get on a bike.
Move.
Yeah, is to get on a bike and just spin, and I just do 25 miles.
Where do you go from your house?
Oh, I go out on 4th Street all the way up to Verdi and back in Gold Run.
Oh, interesting.
Which is really easy. What I do is I stay away from driveways. I stay away
Yeah.
from all driveways.
Remember Valerie Stewart fucking pulled out of her driveway that day and hit that biker and busted him into about 1,000 bits because the sun was in her eyes and he was just going through the neighborhood. Yeah, that's my thing that scares me so usually I cycle on the path through town. There's the path that starts here and it goes all the way along the river, all the way out, basically to your house.
Right.
That path goes from here to your house along the river. So I stay on there because there's no cars.
Right.
But when I cycle to work, Chloe's like freaks out because of the car situation, and
She should be. It's people.
because I bike with headphones in my ears too, which is I know not the best practice in the world.
And most people do, but I stopped doing that in probably right around 96. I don't listen to anything in my ears anymore.
Smart, safer.
Just because I don't do it because it's safe. I just don't want to. I just focus on what I'm doing.
Before we sign off, will you tell the story about when you worked on the illegal Irish fishing boat? It's so funny.
Oh man. Oh, I got to be careful. I do some self-editing here. That's very okay. That's
How
all right.
old were you? It's so funny.
All right, here. My mother's maiden name, God rest her. She's passed. Was Crummy. Her last name is Crummy. Lo and behold, I did a favor for a friend in Paris, and I was naughty, and I mailed him something that I shouldn't have mailed him. I got to Ireland about 2 weeks later, and whenever I'd go into a town, I'd go straight to the American Express, and there might be messages there for me, so on and so forth. That's how people get in touch. And there was a very cryptic message from me from my best friend, who I won't mention his name. And he said, and this was the message: joined the theater troupe, caught in the act. Don't write, don't travel. And it was like, I knew what that was. Holy moly, guacamole. They're waiting to apprehend me in the States. And so that night, I stayed in a hotel in Ireland. I went out to a pub I heard about. There was some music there, and there was a guy there. And I sat down next to him, and we started talking, and he was from England, and he knew I was from the States. And I go, what are you doing? He goes, I'm working on an Irish fishing boat. And I'm going, that's something I've always wanted to do. And he goes, we need some crew. You should come and talk to Captain. I go, when? He goes, come down tomorrow.
How old were you?
72. So
23?
Yeah. 70,
20?
77. So I'm 24 years old.
Okay.
With my hair all one length down to here, with a beard, jeans, a jacket, and I have a suitcase. I'm the only guy who's traveling in all of Europe who has a suitcase, right? And not a backpack. And boots that I like so much. I'm size 10, 10 and a half. The boots were size 8. And I made them bigger by standing in the water for an hour and then walking. You can't even get out of boots once you do that.
Stood in water for an hour?
Because they were cool boots. So I'm in those boots, my toes are curled. And I go and meet the captain, and he takes one look at me, and he says something in Irish and shakes his head. And I'm going, this is going bad already. And he goes, have you ever fished before? I go, plenty. He goes, where? I go, off the pier. And he's looking at me. He goes, you ever steered a boat before? I go, no, but I've rowed a boat. And he speaks to himself in Irish, right? During this whole time, he's shaking his head.
It's Gaelic, right?
Yeah. And I go, I'm never going to get this job. I should just leave right now. He goes, when can you start? I go, oh, shit. I go, he goes, can you start tomorrow? I go, yeah. He goes, okay, be here tomorrow at 6 a.m. I go, all right. And so there it was. So, I go, what am I going to do with my gear? Well, I just bring it with me, I guess. So I got on the boat, and I'm going to go through some really quick stuff. All right. So the Irish Sea, what we're fishing for the easy. I couldn't have picked it better. We're fishing for the easiest fish in the world to catch. They're herring. They come to the surface at night. We troll at night from about 10 o'clock to about 4 in the morning, and we have a sister ship. We pull the net between both of us. It's easier on the engines. We pull Then when we fill up the net, we both stop. We pull it in, dump it all on the deck, and then while we're sorting, they bring out their net, and then we start up again. And so we're always it's brilliant. Plus you got a sister ship. They're good pals, both these guys, and they speak Irish. The captains speak Irish over the phone. And I'm with these guys, and the age difference is, we're all about the same age, a couple of younger people in there. And they accept me right off the bat and everything. And the Irish Sea is very choppy. And when you fish for herring, it's mandated by Irish law. You can only fish Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I have Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday off. It's great. I'm a traveling guy trying to hide out from who knows what. Remember? Don't write, don't travel. And I'm working, it's a perfect front. No one's going to find me. And the Irish Sea is real choppy, so that didn't bother my stomach very much, and I got used to it, and I'm working. And what they're doing is everyone gets shares. Like there's like 14 shares. Like the boat gets 3 shares, the captain gets 3 shares, the first mate gets maybe 2.5 shares, and everyone else gets a share. There might be someone might get a share and a quarter, share and a half, but they just tip me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get a share. It's unheard of. So here's the deal. I'm having a great time. Fishing, doing stuff, not complaining. You know, I get invited home with a couple of these guys, you know, meet their wives, eat some food. I fix French toast for them. They think it's the strangest thing in the world. They're freaked out about it. They're not really sure what to make. I just put a lot of syrup and powdered sugar on it, and
Had American
there it is.
food.
Huh?
It's American food.
Yeah, I
It's
guess
delicious.
so. All right, and so things start to happen. All right, and I'm accepted, and it's all good, and then I do some cooking, and they think it's delicious. No one likes to cook. I was in the restaurant business. I couldn't care less. This is how you cook. You have to understand this. You get mutton. You put it in a great big pot. Fill it with water. We start steaming out. When the water's evaporated, it's time to eat. Can you believe that? It's like so chewy. They didn't know about mint jelly. I brought mint jelly next time. You go, put this on the beef. Oh my God. It's like mint jelly. It makes it go right down. That was another thing I taught them. Mint jelly and mutton, right? So then what happens is we're not catching any fish. And so there's a conversation. I hear Brian talking in Gaelic, whatever, to his mate. And so here it is. We're steaming along. And I'm going, where are we going? We're not even letting the nets down. And the guys say, oh, we're going to the Isle of Man. I go, so? He goes, oh, things can happen out there. And I'm going, what kinds of things? I go, well, one time the captain got arrested. They confiscated his boat and his catch and threw him in prison. He never got his boat back. They kept the boat in Northern Ireland. I'm going, holy fucking shit bomb. All right? And here I am, just trying to hide out from the FBI. Did I say that? Yes, the Postal Service has an FBI branch. I'm not going to tell you what I sent. Anyways, so we're steaming in there, and I'm just thinking, I'm going, this is bizarre. And we get in there, and it's nightfall, and for the first time ever, I get put on watch. And I'm up, I have to stay up all night. The captain says, if anything happens, just come down and wake me up. And so there I am. It's just, you know, I'm just hanging out, walk around. I'm doing like chin-ups and doing push-ups on the deck. It's real nice outside, you know. It's October, whatever. And then all of a sudden, the brightest light in the world gets switched on, lights up the bay on a fishing boat, and it's like a battleship. And I go, holy shit! And the next thing I know, here it comes right over the phone, the Irish. And I'm going, hi. I don't understand Irish. And he goes, is this the fucking Yank? I go, yes it is. He goes, put Brian on. And I go, well, he's sleeping, and the guy goes nuts. I'm sure it was pure profanity. So I go, Brian, wake up. And Brian wakes up and grabs my arm, and he goes, what is it? I said, there's a gunship up there. And he goes, what? I go, yeah, and it's crazy. All right, so they go up. There's 2 of them now. And what they're doing is, they're going to secure those boats, and there's about 12 boats in there now, right? And we're just waiting for the fish to come up. So they have a conversation, and the guys are all listening, and I'm like going, God, what's going to happen? And all of a sudden, this one guy goes, we're going to make a run for it. And I'm going, fuck. And I'm like, want to get out. I'm an American. Here, come take me away. I'm going, we're going to get blown out of the water. I am not exaggerating one iota of this experience, and I start to tremble. And they're all excited. Hey, we're going to make a run for it. Like, here's the deal. Everyone took off and split. We all came. Top speed's 11 miles an hour. I could sprint faster, right? But they can only secure and arrest so many boats. And sure enough, we found out they took in 4 boats. And Brian knew some of those guys. And they put you in jail. They confiscate you and everything.
Fuck.
Yeah, and then his last name was Crummy, and I told him that my mom's maiden name is Crummy, and then he threw a fit. He goes, what'd you tell me that for? Right? Like he felt responsible for him. And so basically, some other things happened, but that was the main story, so there it is. Thanks for listening to my babbling.
It's one of my favorite stories. All right. Well, this is perfect.
All right.
Everyone just wanted to get to know Dad better.
Dad, Papa CAGS. All right, David Cagney.
Thanks for coming on. You can't find him on any social media because he doesn't exist on it. All right.
Privacy.
Okay, bye.
Bye.